Welcome to the Buffs. Andre Roye Jr., offensive tackle, coming out here all the way from the East Coast, from Maryland, from big country, Big Ten country. And happy to have you here, guys. I got the Ralphie horns on, so that should indicate that I am pleased about hearing this news. Happy that he must have really enjoyed his visit here. And today, guys, I'm going to break down for you. What I think of him and what he brings to this offensive line, what he brings to the team. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Smash that like, subscribe if you haven't done it already. And let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to preface this by saying, guys, have I ever lied to you about a player? I have, but this time I'm not. I'm not lying to you about a player. And Andre Roye Jr., he's a great depth piece, man. That's just how I see it. And guys, we need depth because we are one play away right now from freaking Vertus Shelby getting on the field for us, guys. That is terrorism. We cannot allow that. Um, Vertus Shelby, he's being put in a spot right now that's not fair to him because he's a walk-on player. He should not be our second string left tackle, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So getting a guy that is a real power 4 football player at the tackle position who's going to be a swing tackle for us, that's great. That's great. That's how I see him. Somebody who can add depth, guys. Because again, what happens if Jordan Seaton goes down? The freaking season is absolutely over. Right? Andre Roye at least gives us a fighting chance. Now, I will say, we're looking at the PFF stuff right here, okay? PFF doesn't tell the whole story, but we learned this with Cleo Benson last year, guys. If the PFF grades are bad enough, or if they're that bad, if they're that drastic, man, there's probably a good reason why they are that way. But the good news is that his right tackle grades, guys, in the past, they're fine. They're serviceable. And that's what we need. Right now, I feel very good about our offensive line outside of center, okay? Got Jordan Seaton at left tackle. Xavier Hill at left guard. Then we got center right now. That's Zarian McGill. That's the one that's given me, some concern. Okay. Then at right guard, Zy Chrysler. I forgot we had him. How could I forget? Zy Chrysler at right guard. He's going to be fantastic. He might be our best offensive lineman this year, along with Jordan Seaton. And then we got, guys, the starting right tackle for the Tennessee Volunteers this spring, at least, right? He's been working. He's been developing. He was starting all spring long with the Volunteers. And that is a guy by the name of Larry Johnson III. Larry Johnson III. I'm sorry. He's starting with that name. He's absolutely starting with that name, Larry Johnson III. So where do we go if one of these guys goes down at the tackle position? Cardi Smith, don't want to see him on the field this year. He should redshirt. He needs to continue to work to getting that college body. Okay? Vertus Shelby, already spoke on him. No can do. No can do. Phillip Houston would be our swing tackle, but he's recovering from an ACL. Who knows how that's going? Is he going to be ready by fall camp? We don't know. I like what we saw out of Phillip Houston as the season went on. I think that he is a fine swing tackle for us. I think that's a great role for him, but you can't depend on that right now. Swing tackle, backup tackle was an absolutely huge need. No doubt about it. So Andre Roye, again, I'm not saying he's a 5-star. I'm not saying that, but I am saying, man, 5-star backup, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Andre Roye Jr. So, all right. So let's get into the nitty gritty with this, guys. 15.5 pass blocking grade this year in the Big Ten. Yeah. And you might say, wow, that's real concerning. That's even worse than Khalil Benson. Well, let me tell you, if you put DT2 over at left tackle at Indiana, you probably would have gotten the same grades, man. That's just how I figure it. Overall grade was 29.7. I went over this on Saturday or Sunday, but gave up 19 pressures. The good news is that he only gave up 1 sack. From the little I've seen of him, yeah, I don't think that he's a starting level player for this offensive line for CU, but I think that he's a damn big time upgrade over what we have in the tackle room right now for that first backup. No doubt about it. That's why I put in the thumbnail, he's real tackle depth. Absolutely. And hopefully, if he does have to see the field, it's only at right tackle because, guys, wha-bam. Hey, look at what he did at right tackle, man. He did 5 snaps in 2022 at left tackle, but then he got what? About 45 snaps. Yeah, 45. See, I can do math. He had 45 snaps at right tackle, and he graded out just fine. I know it's a small sample size, but for what it's worth, throughout those 45 snaps, plus those, 5 at tight end and freaking left tackle, 10 more snaps, he only gave up 1 pressure, 1 hurry. Okay. This year, 19 pressures, 10 hurries, 8 hits, 1 sack as left tackle. I would just probably presume that he is much better to fill in at right tackle, just going off the raw statistics and grades, than he is at left tackle. But guys, don't get this mistaken. This is a huge upgrade for us at either backup tackle position right now with Phillip Houston out. I still think Phillip Houston might be the better player overall. Maybe that's a little bit of a hot take, but he's recovering from injury. Again, he might medically redshirt this year for all we know. I don't really know, but 6'6", about 300 pounds. You might say, well, maybe we should kick him inside to guard. I feel like we like our guards like super beefy right now, like 340 pounds. So I strictly view him as a tackle. Now, one interesting thing that I just thought of right now. So, guys, remember, have I ever lied to you? I have. Remember that. I have lied to you. I lied to you about Coach Hart, but hopefully you guys will forgive me. Maybe we transition him to center. Maybe he can play center, but 6'6", maybe he doesn't have the body for that. But yeah, like I think that this is a wonderful addition, guys. And he is welcome on the team as long as we're not giving him a Hellcat and he's not dropping DT3 and DT10 merch. And I think he's gotten with the program. He should understand that. And because those things are not going to happen, he's a buff. I'm thrilled to have him here. We desperately need somebody like that here in this room, raising the level of it because, guys, I mean, you saw it during the spring game and some of those practices. If it wasn't the first team offensive line, it looked like a JUCO offensive line sometimes. I'm just being frank about it. So what I will say is, yeah, okay, you can immediately say, I don't want him on the team based on the grades. Well, no, look at the rest of the room, man. Look at the rest of the room. I might argue that some of these guys in our tackle room right now, and I'm not saying this like as a shot, I'm just saying how it is. They might get a 0 passing grade if they're playing left tackle in the Big Ten, which is insane. Give me a second here. So let's pull up his 24/7 and just see kind of how he was recruited coming out of high school. I'm kind of curious about this right now. So as a prospect, was a 3-star guy, 88 overall, offensive tackle from Baltimore, St. Francis Academy. Let's see here. Played basketball and lacrosse in the past. From the little I've seen of him, he definitely does need to get stronger. I think he does have quicker feet than Khalil Benson, no doubt about it. So I don't think you should worry about him, getting like juked out of his socks the way some of the guys that we've had in the offensive line over the past couple of years have. But I think kind of similar to Phillip Houston in that manner, he's needed to get stronger. And so that's, my basic 15-minute scouting report after seeing some clips of him. Let's take a look at our transfers right now. By the way, guys, 24th overall class in the year 2025. That's great. We did lose some key pieces, but overall, I think we survived. We've made it through, and we kept our great quarterbacks and our left tackle. That's the most important thing. And Omarion Miller, baby. That's right. So again, if you need a refresher, I still need to do a video on Jack Hestera or Hestera. And yeah, I'll have that done tomorrow. But sorry, guys, I got to call really quick. Noah King, he's going to be fun. I think he'll play corner more so than safety, maybe some nickel. But Larry Johnson, starting right tackle right here. Xavier Hill, starting guard. Zy Chrysler, starting guard. And then we got Jordan Seaton along with Zary McGill at starting center. So I would still like to bring in some more competition at center. Maybe Mana Taimani gives it a shot at center. Do we want our center at 345 pounds? I don't know, but I think Mana, might be stronger than some of the guys that we got in the room right now. Yeah, I'm not really sure where we go at center. Aki Ogumbaye, they list him as a tackle here. I think he is strictly a guard. Or center, maybe. I think he's played a little bit of center, if I remember correctly. He's an interior guy. He's not a tackle to me. So, yeah, overall, offensive line looking fine. We still need to add some running backs. It would still be nice to add some more linebackers as well. I think we're looking just peachy at the secondary right now, even though we did lose Colton Hood. Getting a guy like Noah King will help. And, if you guys are sad about the secondary, oh man, I was sharing the wrong screen this entire time. I'm sorry, y'all. That's what I get for doing this live. Screw it, we'll do it live. It's 9 p.m. here in San Antonio. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling just fine. RJ Johnson, baby. One of the biggest winners of this year's camp, spring ball. RJ jumping on the balls, Johnson. Teaming up now with Larry Johnson III. I love it. We're going to be just fine at the safety position, just fine at the corner position. And offensive line depth is the hardest thing to keep in Power 4 football. And I think we have some decent depth right now outside of center. I still have no idea what to think about our center position. But I think we're in a pretty decent spot right now. No doubt about it. Like, we can't have the guys that we had playing tackle last year, Tyler Brown, and I can't even remember his name now, the walk-on or whatever. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But overall, guys, this is good. This is good. Do not be alarmed by the bad PFF stuff, guys. He's not coming here to start, in my opinion. That is freaking Larry Johnson's job. You bring in Larry Johnson III. Can't sit a guy named Larry Johnson on the bench. Is it true that RJ was going to leave with Colton Hood? I haven't heard any of that. But I'm sure Pastor can tell you. Pastor, I love you, man. Stop. All your Eagles landings guys left us, man. You got some ground to make up with us, man. That's how I feel about it. Reverend BJ Nelson. Pastor, take some notes from Reverend BJ Nelson. $2 super chat. Salute my guy, Dave. We got players coming. I love it. We got a real scholarship backup tackle. Okay? This is good. This is good. Yeah, Pastor straight up lied to us. I absolutely believe that. No doubt about it. We got one of Tennessee's guys, and then they went and got one of our guys. It's just part of the recruiting rivalry right now. And guys, I got to say, man, I'm looking forward to just hopefully one transfer portal period. Imagine if the NFL had 2 free agency periods. It would be insane. And similar. I think it would be interesting if schools paid a transfer fee to the first school to get their players like they do in soccer. That way, I think these G5 schools and all this stuff, these smaller schools would be a lot more okay with having their guys poached all the time if there's real financial compensation. I think that college football just needs to look at that model. Ronnie, what's up, man? What about linebacker help and running back? I mean, that's where we need it the most right now. We got 2 running backs that we feel good about, maybe 1, maybe half a running back that we feel good about right now. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see. What's good, Dave? I'm loving it. Another day, y'all. How about Shedeur Sanders, baby? Again, if the Cleveland Browns are going to find their franchise quarterback, they're going to do it in the most Cleveland Browns way possible, baby. That's what they did. Oh, man. Reverend BJ Nelson, you're going to make me repent. Saying, I disagree. Pastor Dewey did not lie. He tried to get them to stay looking at the morning run. Yeah, he did. He did go on that little press tour in the morning run. I think so. I think he was doing a little bit of damage control if I'm going to be honest, but I think that's fair. He did come on and say that, and but I didn't like the complaining on Twitter. Did not like that, Pastor. Did not like that. Did not like that at all. Yeah, Kevin Mathis got to come on there and set things straight. Thought it was a bad look. I thought it was sloppy. Pastor, better than that, man. And hopefully he's learned from it. But Pastor's still welcome in Buff Nation. But I just got to say, I'm a little upset about how he contributed to the drama with all that. That's all I got to say. Thank you for the $5 super chat. The cup of coffee I'm going to be drinking this week. Thank you very much. Would Sko Browns be sacrilege? I'm going to say yes. Yes. I'm not sure how I feel about it because we're talking about this in Guru's Discord. Until Shedeur Sanders takes that first starting snap for the Browns, they're still a joke. They're still a joke. We can't have that. No. Let's see here. Neely insinuating Colton wanted a promise to start after missing the spring. The staff couldn't make that promise. Interesting. Yeah. If so, he's a soft boy. That's a soft boy move. Colton Hood had a great time here. He was fantastic. Now, did he miss some tackles on special teams? Yeah. Did he always seem to trip on his own cleats when he's trying to run things back to the house and pick sixes? Yeah. But I still love Colton, man. At the end of the day, this happens. Wish him well, but not too well because I'm a Buffs fan. I'm not a Tennessee Vols fan. That's for talking Vols to deal with now. We don't need prima donnas like that. No. Maybe I'll spike it with things other than alcohol. I've been working on this strain. Nah, man, I'm just playing. But yeah, maybe I should. He was attacked, so I'd come back like that too. Yeah, Pastor or Kevin Mathis. Yeah, I did not like how we brought Kevin Mathis into that, man. I just did not like it. Yeah. He posted false information. He better have apologized to Kevin Mathis. He can do it on my channel if he wants. Pastor, don't waste your time with my channel. But he's a friend of the show. Sometimes he's in the comments. Just know that I'm giving him a hard time if you ever see this. Indica sativa makes me feel like I need to go to the hospital. That's a bad sign. But guys, let me know, what you guys feel about Andre Roye? I feel like he's a hell of an upgrade over what we had. Again, I'm not saying this guy's an All-American. I'm not going to come out here and say this guy's an NFL draft pick. No. Have I lied to you about other players? Yeah, I have, but I'm trying not to lie to you about this one, man. I think he's a solid depth piece for us. Have you watched the DJ McKinney video showing what he needs to work on at DB? No, I haven't. I haven't at all. I thought that was pretty cool. Was it PFF that has him projected as a first round draft pick right now next year? That's pretty exciting. Yeah. And let me know where I can find that. Andre Roye is a backup for Seton. Cool. Yeah, that's how I see it as well, man. I'm thrilled about that. Like we get a real college football player to back him up. Again, the fact that we had to have walk-ons start for us at different points last year on the offensive line was pathetic, man. We should not have had that. Pastor didn't bring CM into the post. CM. Who's CM? Because I was thinking Colton Hood. Who's CM? Coach Mathis responded to Pastor's response. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Sorry, sorry if I'm stirring things up the wrong way. Not my intention. But I just didn't like it. I thought it was slappy. You keep that stuff in house. If you got issues, just text them. Just text them. Or if you got issues with Colton leaving, or if your heart's broken, text him personally. Why do people always feel the need to put out birthday posts and all these different things on social media, man? Like we don't need any of that, man. How about a direct text to somebody? That means a lot more than a freaking social media post, man. That's how I feel about it, man. That's how I feel about it. That's just me. Maybe I'm a lost soul. I just don't care about any of that stuff. How's that offensive line looking? 1 to 10. Um I'll go out on a limb right now. I'll go out on a big limb right now. I'll say 7. Yeah, I'll give it a 7. Sure. I think it's an improvement. Now, we'll see what happens with center. I'm not sure. Dave, you got to be careful, please. I know. I'm not trying to start anything, but I try and get on here and just give you my opinion. I just didn't like how that whole thing was done. You got to understand. I'm serious on this show like half the time. Pooh Bear, I'm fishing. Nah, that's cool. I just know that right tackle was trash last year for sure. And really, a lot of that 7 is just hope that Larry Johnson III is better than what we had last year. He has to be. The aunties will come for you. Nah, man. I would like to think me and the aunties are cool, but I'm not saying. I'm sure the aunties got their opinions about everything too. You know, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I just didn't like it. Darkside Dave needs to make a return. Shoot, I thought I made a return. I thought I made a return in this video, but y'all didn't like it. I'm trying here to celebrate the, us getting a real scholarship, Power 4 backup offensive tackle here. And I never commented on that Colton Hood stuff, man. I feel like it won't ever come out the real reasons why he left, but we all know it wasn't because of something with the brothers. I don't think that's just my read on it. Because he didn't he initially went to Auburn by himself. Right? Brandon was going to go to Georgia. Starting to think we should have just played flapjack. Or I would have loved it if we just paid him enough to stick around, but man, I can understand. He's been sitting for 3 years, wants to play somewhere. We brought in Xavier Hill, who the staff automatically thinks is better than him. He's at least played, so they have data to go off of for that. So I can understand with him being like, man, what the heck? I'm going to get out of here. Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, Colton Hood shouldn't have been afraid of any competition that came in here because he was that good. He was that good. But if he got a bigger bag at Tennessee, congratulations to him, man. We just don't need to be talking about how it's a family thing. I just don't. I don't know. I didn't really buy that whole thing. Starting to think we should have just paid Flapjack, man. And, we're not a poverty program anymore. We're not. We're paying Coach Prime top 5 money right now. So why can't we pay guys to just stick around, right? Our collective needs to get to that level. Colton Hood was projected a starter, but that SEC money got thrown his way. Much like who's the linebacker that we had last year? Nakai Hill-Green, something like that. Alabama came calling. That was a wrap with CU. That's just how it is, and that's probably how it would have been at any other Big 12 school right now too. Sadly, but you know what? Some people, man, they can just transfer out and just say nothing. That's okay. Sometimes you don't need to justify through, you know, burner accounts and all these other things, right? I'm not saying Colton did this, but you see it all the time in college football, man. I heard this is what's going on. This is what, that, man. If you want to get paid, that's fine, man. You don't need to come out and say it. You don't need to spread any other rumors about why you're leaving. Just go and live your life. We don't spread rumors on why we hop from one job to the next, man. Like, we don't. Now we're getting to some dark side. Bracken Deacon not coming. We got some work to do. I'll tell you what, if we can get a 1,000-yard rusher this year, I bet they're both here Northside. But that's a steep thing to ask for right now with this team. We all know everybody want to ball in the SEC, and that's why we're going to the SEC, baby. We got to start manifesting this. According to Neely, Colton wasn't the projected starter. That's why he left. Yeah, I think that they weren't going to just hand it to him, man. But I think, Colton's good enough to where he would have earned it in fall camp, no doubt about it. You guys want to say, some people say, oh, man, favorites and all that stuff. At the end of the day, man, these position coaches are coaching for their jobs. They might incorrectly start the wrong guy sometimes, but these guys are trying to win, and I'm a firm believer that the best talent normally plays like 99% of the time. And notice how the guys that always are complaining about favoritism and all that, they just weren't good enough. But it's always somebody else's fault, right? It's always some coach's fault. It's always some sort of favoritism game, right? This is just how it always is, right? And the former players, that never got their shot, right? That's how they feel about it. At the end of the day, man, the best players play. These coaches want to keep their jobs. They want to get raises. 99% of the time, I think the top talent plays. But we have seen a couple instances where the guys that started out starting for us, they were not. But they made those adjustments fairly quickly. By the time week 3 rolled around or so like that, everything was good. Okay? Everything was good. If CU doesn't run the football, Pat Shurmur is cooked. Hey, this is what I'm going to say. Don't give a damn. There's going to be some real offensive play caller drama this year, right? Because, I think Pat Shurmur has a little bit of a hot seat right now. I'll come on here and say that. Why do I say that? Because he's got Byron Leftwich right there coaching the quarterbacks right behind him. Byron Leftwich. Yes, he's worked with Tom Brady, yada, yada, yada. Pat Shurmur never worked with Tom Brady. Man, I don't care. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He called an offense good enough win a Super Bowl. That's freaking awesome. Coach Prime has shown in the past, if he feels like he's got another play caller that's good enough, that first guy starting's got a short leash. Pat Shurmur is going to be interesting to see how this goes. Because, if we're only running the ball 20% of the time still, that's a huge issue. That's a huge issue when you don't have a quarterback like Shedeur behind center, man. That's a absolute huge issue. Um, and it was still an issue even with a quarterback like Shedeur back there, right? I would be interested to see what Byron Leftwich could do with this offense, and I don't think it's out of the cards that we'll see him calling plays at some point this next year. Um, Dave, Marshall Faulk's not going to hold if we're not running the ball. Exactly. That's a wonderful point. That's also why I was a big proponent of bringing Marshall Faulk in. That guy will demand we get the running backs involved. Now, why have all our running backs left? Dallin Hayden's the most loyal one out of them all. And Rudy, CMC, Charlie Offerdahl, right? We got him. We got DeKalen Taylor. I think DeKalen Taylor is a very interesting back, spell back. But, man, he could be a lot of fun. I think he could be a lot of fun in this offense. But it would be nice to have another running back. Oh, and Michael Welsh. How could I forget about Michael Welsh? I guess he was hurt for a lot of the spring. Maybe that's why he's skipping my mind. So it would be nice to bring in one more guy. Where has Leftwich been? Has he not been around? I thought he was here. Bringing in all these wide receivers can't get a competent running back in the portal is an issue. I think a lot of the running backs, man, they want to see results. I would, especially if we're not paying, top dollar, right? Isaiah Auguste, again, no issue. He didn't need to put out a statement, anything like that. Just went. We understood, man. we understood. So, I think it's huge for this 26 recruiting class and future transfers to show that we can run the ball and that we're committed to doing it. If we fail to do that this year, that's we're kind of hanging on to this thread that's like, well, things are going to be different, now that we have new quarterback here and all this stuff, right? Third year of trying to build this offensive line. It's got to be better, right? Marshall Faulk here. But if we fail to run the ball effectively, none of these guys are going to come here unless we're just overpaying them. And I just don't see us doing that. I thought Hood was a really good player. But I wouldn't call him elite, but I thought he was a really good player. And, there's a large portion of the fan base that would say Hood was better than McKinney. I think they both got their strengths and weaknesses. I think they're both very good. I wouldn't call either of them elite right now. Welsh is a third down back, not an every down back. Maybe. He's still just so young. There's plenty of time for him to develop. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, Gearhead? Good. We need all the O-line guys we can get. We have to be able to run and ditch the 4-receiver chuck and duck crap system. Yes, and hopefully, man, these tight ends we got, hopefully they'll start to play a little bit more of a role. Again, Zane D'Souza, man, I'm still hopeful that even though he's not an early enrollee, right, he'll be here when the summer starts. I think he has the body, like physically, to get on the field this year. Yeah, we need some tight end involvement. I know Leftwich in the office fixing that Pat playbook. Absolutely. Well, only one running back in the 26 class is pathetic. Well, we don't even have a running back in the 20. We only have one commit in the 26 class. What do you mean about that? What is considered tampering with a player? It's when you have a coach or someone on the staff directly offering a guy before he's entered the portal. So you got to go through back channels, right? You got to go through friends of friends, mutuals, coach, high school coaches, maybe an agent, right? They can't monitor any of that agent stuff. You're talking to an agent, some sort of third party where all this stuff is figured out. So if you just get caught, it's sloppy, which we haven't. I haven't seen Leftwich on any of the videos at Colorado. Everyone else on the coaching staff has been. I thought we saw him. Am I just having like a Mandela effect moment right now? Wasn't he here at the beginning of the spring portal season? March 20th. Colorado. Yeah, check this out. Currently an assistant coach. Ralphie report. Let's click on this. Leftwich's role on the staff hasn't been made clear. It appears that there's a clear opening for him at quarterback coach. Obviously, having Leftwich as quarterback coach with Pat Shurmur as OC is a pretty overqualified offensive staff. This is a huge advantage. I would see that as an advantage as well. It's interesting how, I mean, I just always thought he was the quarterback coach. I guess that's, here I am again lying to you guys. Here I am, man, just putting out false information again. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, March 21st. Interesting that he hasn't been in any of the videos. Now, I don't watch all the videos, and when I do watch the videos, I'm usually just fast forwarding to like the practice footage, so where I'm like watching the players. So very, very interesting. Yeah, I guess I didn't show this. The heck? Sorry, guys. Got to switch my background. Can't have it as Broncos. Need buffs. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. See. Join the staff. Yeah, not specific on his title or role. Let me see if he's on Colorado football staff. Coaching staff. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, geez. What the fuck? All right, now I'm kind of pissed off. What the heck's going on with this? Why isn't he on this? I'm like kind of bummed out about this. Did something happen? I was all excited for this. This made me feel a lot better going into the season. Why is he not on this staff list, guys? I don't like this. Mike saying he was in a video and he did announce himself, but not at a position coach. Interesting. He's been in one video months ago and never again. I just never even thought about it. You're right. Like we've seen a ton of Pat Shurmur. Yeah. When do players return to practice? I want to say June. That's when they start the summer conditioning. I think it's like early June, late May. Dave, how confident are you about getting the Illinois commitment, tight end commitment this Wednesday? You got a name for me? Because I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, what the heck? Sorry, guys. Feel like now this show was so much fun. We're laughing, we're cracking jokes, we're shit posting, and now I'm like kind of sad. KJ Edwards was the only running back we had an official visit. All I've heard is CU as a Hall of Famer coach. But again, I think results matter the most, man. Right now, don't give a damn. They matter the most. Absolutely. And we got to have those results first. Stevie Davies saying Leftwich wouldn't stick to a staff full time like that. I'd expect a part time analyst role. Okay. Well, that's better than nothing, right? Carter starting over Hood in the nickel spot last year was favoritism? No. We had Hood starting on the outside. And Preston Hodge was hurt. What are you talking about? No. Who else were we gonna put at nickel? Herman Smith? Shout out to Herman Smith. You was in camp this weekend for the Raiders, I think, or coming up for the Raiders. But like at the time of the Alamo Bowl, who did we have left? Tell me. Oh, Gavin Mueller. Thank you. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know how. It's hard for me to get a gauge on any of these high school kids, man. To be honest, it looks like Donzie Burner is saying was projected to land at Colorado. He would be the second commit, bro. We got Domata Peko Jr. Get with the program. 4-star tight end. May 14th. Hey, so yeah, that is on Wednesday. So when I'm looking at this, let's see, Wisconsin Poverty Program, LSU Poverty Program, Notre Dame, good program. So we should have 50% odds. I kid. But yeah, if he's from South Elgin, Notre Dame has to be the favorite. Guys, if you don't know where Elgin is, we're gonna pull up the map. If you guys didn't know this, I grew up in the Chicagoland area. This is Elgin. Not too far away from South Bend, Indiana, somewhere on this map. Let's do the directions. Talking about a 2-hour drive right here, guys. Talking about a 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive, depending on what route you take to South Bend, Indiana, man. I'm going to say he's probably going to Notre Dame. Sorry. I mean, Notre Dame, man, it's Chicago's a Big Ten team, man. That's just how it is. When Stoutmeyer is a first or second round draft pick, you will all be quiet then. I'll say this. Carr Stoutmeyer is a draft pick, and Carr Stoutmeyer is freaking going to be on an all-conference team this year. I'm calling it, y'all. I'm calling it. I'm standing on it. This is where I always thought he would be. But, man, for some reason, if his name is not Cameron Silman, Craig, you guys want to crash out over all these guys. You understand, and I'm pumped about Tafik Bayard. You understand that he was just a part-time player for USF, okay? And I understand, man, we're pumped about TJ. What's his last name? You guys will know it. TJ, the guy who was an absolute missile in the spring game, right? From Miami, from Teddy Bridgewater's high school, right? That guy's going to be awesome. He's 170 pounds, man. He's not going to start the season starting, I don't think. I'd give that a very small percentage. But could he end up starting along TJ Branch? Thank you. Could he end up starting alongside Carter later on in the season? Very well could. But I'm very pumped for Tafik Bayard, man. I thought he looked great. I thought all of our safeties really looked great in the spring game. To be clear, it's a position group that I still feel very, very good about. And yeah, I think like our corner group is a little bit more green right now in terms of playing experience, but I think our corner group has like so much raw talent. I'm very excited about it. And hopefully Preston can stay healthy this year because, yeah, I don't want those guys to be covering the slot, man, if they're not ready. handle saying TJ Branch is starting week 3. And I would say that TJ Branch and Carter Stoutmire would complement each other very, very well. Really like how this offensive line is shaping up, puts pressure on the quarterbacks to perform. I like those odds. I'd agree with you. I feel good about 4 of the 5 starting positions right now. Yeah, yeah, Carter can't cover, man. That's why he's playing in the box. That's why he's like a traditional strong safety. That's why you got a guy like uh, for instance, TJ Branch to play that deep safety role. You guys expect Carr to be somebody that he's not. If TJ Branch can add 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and get a grasp of the playbook, he needs to play over Carter. I mean, this is crazy. They're 2 different kinds of safeties. And this is the thing, man. You guys are mad when Carter gets burnt by these quick, twitchy, speedy wide receivers and all that, man. He can cover the tight ends just fine. Again, one of my criticisms, Robert Livingston, he hasn't exactly put him in the best position for success. But to his point that I just brought up, what the hell were you going to do if, once Preston Hodge went down? What were you going to do? It wasn't, I don't know, man. And for what it's worth, I don't think Colton's a guy to cover the slot much either. Called Cameron Silliman, Craig, and Shiloh slow, but guess who's in the league now? Hey, they're in there undrafted. We'll see if they can make these active rosters. I think most likely practice squad guys, but still, that's a wonderful step, and it's a great start to like having a real career in the league. Exactly. Even Preston Hodge is a liability. And Nick, I swear, sometimes, man, Travis Hunter was the worst thing to ever happen to you guys. And I'm just going to say you guys because you expect freaking everybody to cover like Travis Hunter. Undrafted is not a flex, man. Man, shut up. Don't give a damn. And now you're just going off the rails, man. You're talking about a person getting a signing bonus of 100 to 150K for the work that they put in with a chance to stick on an NFL practice squad. Man, shut the hell up, man. You guys are tearing people down all the time because you didn't reach your goals. Is that what the deal is? Don't give a damn. Have you not reached what you've wanted to accomplish in life? Going undrafted, man. Again, I think it's wonderful that some of these guys even got rookie camp invites. I'm not going to be flaunting that, as that means that you need to come to CU because we can get you a rookie camp invite, man. That rarely means anything. But when you're a priority undrafted free agent signing, that means something. So don't give a damn, man. Smoke some weed, dude. Why are you in such a bad mood? Yep. For a lot of people, man. And a lot of people, if you're just going based on like the average salary, making that 150K takes them, 3 to 4 years, right? So yeah, I think like in the corporate world, whatever, like in a good situation, it's taken 52 weeks to make 150K, man. You guys, I swear to God, man, some of you guys just lack freaking empathy. Jesus. We got a new pope, okay? And you guys are all crashing out. We got a Chicago pope before we got a Bears 4,000-yard passer. And you guys are just all upset about that. Core docs, man. Dude, who cares about you? Holy shit. Holy shit, guys. Do you guys got like freaking amnesia right now? Have we not been through the recruiting season with this staff? They don't give a shit about any of that at this point every single spring. Wait, what? Why are you guys crashing out about this, man? That's just not how they operate. What's the point of getting upset when we know they're not going to enter in this year with they're not going to finish the year with 0 recruits, man. Who absolutely cares, man? And Nico's right. Eye rolling, man. Exactly, Stevie Davy. If any other school, yeah, be concerned. But guys, man, we swear to God, man. Swear to God, man. Some of y'all need to get laid. Which game are you looking forward to this year? Wyoming? I think that will honestly be pretty fun. Very much looking forward to Georgia Tech. Let me pull it up right here. All right, what do we got? Delaware, I mean, that'll be cool. I think that this is a very exciting game because I think this could be the first time where we see Julian Lewis get on the field if we take care of business. Wyoming is going to be cool. I want to say I'm looking forward to BYU, but honestly, I'm terrified of that game right now. How they kicked our butts in the Alamo Bowl, and with us, playing them right now, and honestly, kind of what I feel right now is going to be kind of a transition year for the program. I'm terrified of that. They got Retzlaff coming back, a lot of other guys coming back. That's going to be tough, but I'm very much looking forward to TCU. I think that this could be a really close game, a really good game. And again, we kind of kicked off that rivalry with them in 2023. Sad we didn't get to play them this past year because they were another really good offense in the Big 12. It would have been fun, but I'm looking forward to that. We got to go to Fort Worth again, but next time we'll get them. It will be in Boulder. Not looking forward to Iowa State. Looking forward to Utah yet again. We should beat them. We should absolutely beat them. Looking forward to like the 50 Arizona football fans, coming into town for this game, and we should get our revenge against the last time they came into Folsom and beat us, 2023. But we absolutely wiped the floor with them. We now have the turf. So Mata, Buchanan, all these guys, they're gonna be kicking absolute darts. At the end of the game, if it gets to that sort of situation, we're going to have touchbacks, so they're not going to be breaking big, long returns on us. No. This is going to be an awesome game. Shout out to Rage. He's going to deactivate his Twitter again for like 2 months after that game. In the words of the Arizona AD, man, who cares about going to Morgantown? I'm saying that to troll. Arizona State, that would be cool, I guess. Not really looking forward to that. And then I'm very much looking forward to Kansas State, man. We got to win this game, man. That's probably the game I care most about winning this year, man, because, we just let them off the hook. Yeah, it wasn't Carter Stoutmeyer burned for that touchdown, though some people in this chat might tell you otherwise. It was either Carter or Shilo, wasn't it? Oh, man. I'm probably the only one laughing at that. But in Kansas State, that's going to be awesome. Now we got to go into their house and embarrass them in the fourth quarter. That's what we got to do, baby. Yeah. So that's probably what I'm looking most forward to. Yeah. Some of these schools I'm not really looking that forward to, but guys, I'm so happy we're not playing Colorado State. I think that, it just needs a break. Sometimes you need a break from little brother every now and then. Would still love to be playing Nebraska, would still be cool with that every year, but Wyoming is a fine consolation, or Georgia Tech, whatever. Fine consolation. Georgia Tech is going to be an incredible, first gauge for us on just how ready we are, man, for this season, how good we're going to be. Of course, like we saw with the team last year, you can get better as the season goes on. That game week 2 against Nebraska was not the team that we finished with, except the bowl game. I mean, forget that. That's out of my memory now. Have we sacrificed? Ralphie 6 yet? Have we done that yet? Have we exercised that curse, that demon, that embarrassment she was just quitting on the field at the Alamo Dome? I was offended about that. But I'll tell you guys right now, I don't eat bison. I've talked about this. I don't eat bison. I can't eat the school mascot. Like, just will not do that. But we need to turn Ralphie 6 into bison burgers and eat her. And I'm completely convinced we win the national championship if we do that. Completely convinced we go 12-0 if we do that. Ladies, see what's going on. I'm excited about the recruits. I think we had a very, very great list of high school guys over the past 2 weekends. I think that was fantastic, and that has been better than any spring visit weekend that we've had the last couple of years, like leading up to this. So, again, a lot of people, they're just going to look at, we just have Doma Echo Jr. committed. It's a failure. Nah, man, you're absolutely right. It's great to see ourselves entering the conversation with some of these guys. And I think some of these guys will end up buffs at the end of the day. Yeah, Colorado, I just don't really feel like it benefits us much at all. Do they lose to State a lot? No, no, Pooh Bear. It's just kind of like one of those rivalries to where, like, if you don't beat them by enough, it's like, why'd you play? Or they'll take dirty shots because they have nothing to lose. We're their Super Bowl, sadly. That's just how it is. And I mean, you saw how that played out a couple of years back. And yeah, I have no respect for their coach, Jay Norvell. I think he's terrible. I think he's a terrible human being. just straight up saying that and like believe that. And yeah, I hate how he runs that program, and I hate how he handles himself. And yeah, it's why play down a level to somebody like that if there's not going to be respect involved on their end. So yeah, we can go 2 hours north and play Wyoming, or 3 hours north and play Wyoming, or they can come down here for 3 hours, play Wyoming. And they're honestly a much more respected program, I feel like, overall than Colorado State. So that's just how I feel about it. All right, guys, I'm going to eat some dinner. It's been a late night. I appreciate you guys as always. I'll be back. Yeah, I'll do that video tomorrow talking about that wide receiver that has returned to Colorado. Hestera, Jack, slot receiver, 6 feet, balled out for Utah State this year. I think he had some pretty good stats. So I know I've been late on getting that video done. We'll have to see how, I'll have to see if I put it out tomorrow. Subscribe to find out. Thank you guys so much, for all the laughs, making me crash out. You guys triggered me again. And of course, Reverend BJ Nelson saying, you know what, Dave, it's okay. We got to forgive. We got to forgive even when pastor might upset you. Still's got some ground to make up with me, though. All right, Sko Buffs.